Tom, Sophia Soda with the Nerds of Color. Pleasure to be speaking with you today. Thank you for your
See
time.
how are you?
I'm so good. I'm so excited to be speaking with you. Big fan. And congratulations on season two, part two of this series. I know fans are really anticipating it. So I want to give you a sort of creative question to start. Which of your past characters do you think would be most fun to see in a Western and possibly meet Billy in this show?
Goodness, that's a good question. Um, hmm. I mean, I had a tiny part in the Gilded Age on HBO. I had
Yeah.
a tiny part in episode 5 of season 1 or something. And that character, Archie Baldwin, I remember he was so well written, but he was so brief. He was only in like 3 scenes. And and I know a lot of people have like messaged me being like, when's he coming back? And I don't think he is. I don't know, but I don't think he is. I've not heard anything. So I think that would be interesting because the Gilded Age is like around the same time as
Yeah.
this was happening, but a very different world because it's in New York and the rich moneyed society. Be very interesting to see Archie Baldwin, who I imagine could not handle himself very well in the Old West,
Yeah.
bumping into Billy the Kid and what that conversation might be.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like if we can't get him that way on the Gilded Age, we got to just bring
Yeah.
him here. That
We'll have
that
to
makes
get
sense,
Michael
right?
Hurst to write him into a Billy scene. Maybe he's like part of the railroad coming out or something. Yeah.
Perfect. We're pitching it here. I don't know who we need to talk to, but we'll make it happen for everyone.
I'll make some calls. I'll see what we can do.
Love it. And what would you say is the biggest difference from season one, Billy the Kid, to where we see him now in season two, part two?
I mean, even from season 1, there's a huge difference. He's become like so much more grounded. He's more confident. He's not so afraid of his own kind of power. He's
Yeah.
willing to wield it when he needs to. Whereas before, I think he sensed that he was capable, but didn't really know how to use it. Kind of like a baby elephant, like a little bit like powerful, but kind of a bit clumsy. And season 2, like part 1 that we've already seen, he is getting there. And then Tunstall is killed, who is kind of his final hope to like go on the straight and narrow and live a peaceful life. And he was a mentor to him and a father figure. And when he loses Tunstall, I think that's it. He's like this, the veil is lifted. He's now like, he's going to use his power that he's got to avenge his mentor.
Yeah.
Um, and in the process, try and bring peace to Lincoln. But actually, like, he's really motivated now by some different force that is like a little darker, it's a little deeper, but is a powerful force in him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always want to ask this question to actors because I feel like it must be fun to play one role in one movie or project, but to get to grow with a character and get
Mm.
to revisit a character must be a whole different ball game in a good way. Like I love seeing a character grow and evolve. I'm curious for you as an actor, do you enjoy that as well? And do you feel like you had a moment where you really connected with Billy?
Yeah, I did a lot of moments actually, but I gotta say, like going back last summer to pick him up where we left off, um, it really felt good. It felt good to like revisit. I mean, it felt good because we were all so close on the show. Like it's a really tight-knit group. Like everyone always says that, but this really is like of all the stuff I've done over the years, like and hopefully will do, this feels special. Like there is a real tight-knit group camaraderie there. Whether the actors are on their side of the house or the regulators, we're all close. We do karaoke on the weekends, we go karting, we go paintballing, like we go out dancing and drinking whiskey together and singing songs. It's just like it really is like, there's a camaraderie there. But aside from that, just like Billy himself as a character, it's so fun to get to see him evolve and also like evolve in real time. Like I feel like as I'm growing, he's growing with me and I'm finding out new things about him, which I love doing films and I'm doing lots of films this year, but it is a different experience, like being able to revisit a character. Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine, I mean, it's fun for a fan to get to see it. So I
Yeah.
imagine it's the same thing. And what is your favorite thing about Westerns overall, like genre wise? What made you a fan of the genre? And is there something that being part of a Western on the acting side made you realize that you didn't necessarily like realize while you were watching?
Good question. I Yeah, I've always loved Westerns. And I think when I was younger, at least, it was like a thing of just like fascination with the wilderness of it all, the Wild West and like the clashing of cultures that was happening in that time, which I probably didn't know at the time. But now I'm like, now I appreciate that it's a clashing of cultures and that like you had all these different people from different places. Obviously you have people who are native to the area, and then you have the Irish immigrants and the Swedish immigrants. and the Spanish coming up from Mexico in the south, and all of it, and it all clashing in the middle, and like the very definition of what we now call a melting pot. But at the
Yeah.
time, it was less peaceful than a melting pot, and it's, still not perfect, but at the time, it's just like, yeah, the kind of the battling cultures is just so fascinating, and we're still understanding it today, or trying to. And I think now as an adult, that's kind of what I appreciate more. And Billy kind of epitomizes that, because he's a young Irish immigrant who grew up in the Irish slums, no money, was a second class citizen, but then moved out west and kind of took his power and kind of made his own history. And it's a complicated thing. And so it's interesting to like take that bigger political conversation and kind of narrow it down to one character and get to look at just like what that is on a personal level.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
long,
You,
long wind.
first of all, I just have to say you are so well spoken. You give such amazing answers. I
God,
really
I always
appreciate your time.
feel like I'm
No, I
babbling.
really appreciate it. You give such good answers. I know we have to wrap, so thank you so much, Tom. I really do appreciate it. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Yeah, pleasure. Likewise. Hopefully we
Thank
do.
you. Hope to
Yeah.
do it again. Yeah, hope to do it again
Yeah.
soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
The activist directors, comments and the lectures, fanboys, professional artists and professors. Maybe a nerd who's just like you, talking about the things that you like too. So I invite you to the NOC.